Daoud here from Compliance Standards, where we look at all things sustainability. And today is the 28th of June, 2024. Well, Apple is making good progress in its sustainability pledges. Unlike many other tech companies who are stuck in theory and promises, Apple is making inroads. Recently, the company announced that it is improving the repairability of some of its devices by making available what it calls genuine Apple parts for select iPhone models. The initiative will be rolled out after summer 2024, that is sometime in fall. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, making electronic devices easily repairable has been the subject of a lot of debate, and the practice is increasingly being regulated, with lawmakers in many states requiring OEMs and manufacturers to facilitate repairability. Manufacturers have been very hesitant to do so for a number of reasons. I'm aware of at least two of them, and here they are. Number one, in doing so, you force changes in the manufacturing process. Product designers have to go back to the drawing board. ODMs, that is the companies that are involved in the manufacturing in places like Asia, have to retool their sites. Then you have to produce many more parts to accommodate the need for replacement parts, etc. I have to admit, it's a practical and a logistical headache to make all these changes. The second reason for the hesitations that we've seen from OEMs is essentially related to their own market. If you make repairing devices easy, it allows the extension of the life of the device. It allows also the establishment of a secondary market, and that means all of that will essentially cannibalize on their own new product marketing and sales. In an era where devices are built to last, adding easy repairability on top of that is a double threat for tech companies. It's a double-edged sword, if you will. Now, sensing that the public and lawmakers are not sympathetic with OEM's position on this, Apple seems to want to be ahead of the problem and face it as quickly as possible. Apple is probably one of the best positioned firms to do so. It has a history of challenging itself and push its own boundaries. It wants to do that in the context of making some of its product easily repairable. And the keywords here are, and I'm quoting, some of its products, end of quote. That's because for now, this initiative has limited initial scope, since the program starts with select iPhone models, potentially excluding other devices for now. But the company pledged to extend it to dozens of its products in the future. So what's in the program? Apple says the new process includes on-device calibration for parts, support for biometric sensors, and the extension of activation lock feature to iPhone parts. Apple will also update its parts and service history feature to indicate whether a part is new or used. Of course, we should applaud Apple for this, in particular since this is not just an effort to appease advocates of repairability in the US. A self-service repair program will be launched in some 33 countries. On the 26th of June, the software that powers Apple diagnostics for self-service repair and helps identify problems with Apple system was made available in 32 European countries following its debut in the US in December 2023. As such, the Apple diagnostics for self-service repair can now be used on iPhone, on Mac, and Studio Display models in 33 countries, with Canada expected to be the 34th country next year. However, there's still many lingering questions. One of them is about users and repairs providers likely to be dependent on Apple to provide the so-called genuine Apple parts. This will create new dependency on Apple, which is part of Apple's business philosophy. This company does not like to share its market, its technology, its opportunities with others. It's a philosophy that was perfected by its founder, Steve Jobs. And in creating this dependency, there is clearly a risk that the program may be more expensive than, well, using third-party alternatives. There's also the potential for complexity for inexperienced users. After all, this is a self-service repair initiative that could cause inexperienced users to fail. There are also risks, such as a calibration process or activation lock feature that is being bypassed, thereby compromising user security. While there are many more risks and challenges, it's refreshing to see that Apple is tackling this problem head on, and any step that enhances sustainability is always a good step. Thank you for listening, and until our next talk, goodbye.